Hello, ma'am. Hello, classmates. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I am Ivan Legit Sikinko, and I will be sharing to you the knowledge about certain types of killing. So, death. What is death? Death is the termination of life. It is the complete cessation of all the vital functions without the possibility of resuscitation, and it is an irreversible loss of the properties of living matter. So, what is death investigation? It deals with the post-mortem, or should I say, after life, or the time that we go to heaven, or should I say, our death. Deals with post-mortem investigation of sudden and unexpected death. So that is death investigation, the sudden and unexpected death of a person. So types of killing. Number one is infanticide. Infanticide, the penalty provided for parricide in infanticide in Article 255 of the Elements of Felony in Revised Penal Code shall be imposed upon any person who shall kill any child less than 3 days of age. Requisites of the crime about infanticide. First, a person was killed. Second, the person killed was a child less than 3 days old. So in Article 248, murder. Murder is the malicious and unlawful killing of a human by another human. These are the aggravated circumstances. So with treachery, or should I say, or something like betrayal, or killing in unexpected manner to another person by another person, and also taking advantage of superior strength with the aid of armed men, or employing means to weaken the defense or of means or persons to ensure or afford impunity in consideration of a price, reward, or a promise. Homicide. So what is homicide? There is a lot of aggravated circumstances when we tackle about homicide and murder. In homicide, the killing of one human being by another. So it is basically the same with murder. But in homicide, they're considered as justifiable, such as the killing of a person to prevent the commission of a serious felony or to aid a representative of the law. It is punishable by reclusion temporal, or 12 years and 1 day to 20 years. So in homicide, it is punishable by reclusion temporal. In murder, it is punishable by reclusion perpetua, or the pagkakulong ng habang buhay. Reclusion perpetua is 20 years to 40 years. So what is parricide? Parricide is another type of killing. It refers to the deliberate killing of one's own father and mother, spouse. It can also be husband or wife, and children and a close relative. So what is matricide? Matricide refers to the deliberate killing of one's own mother. It is punishable by reclusion perpetua to death. So sororicide. It is the act of killing one's sister. It can also be considered as parricide. Uxoricide, the act of killing one's wife. It can also be considered as parricide. So next, what is extrajudicial killing? Extrajudicial killing is very controversial in our country. It is by killing by the government forces without due process of law. So example of this is the drug war of Duterte. Another is the use of superior strength without the due process of law, just like when another law enforcement or any government personnel who belong to the armed forces, PNP, etc., if they kill any person without due process of law, it can also be considered as extrajudicial killing. Next is euthanasia or mercy killing. Mercy killing is also very common here in our country, especially we don't have a state-of-the-art technology in assessing or in diagnosing and also in treatment to any significant injury or disease. So euthanasia or mercy killing, the killing of any being with compassionate reasoning. Example of this, just like what I said, significant injury or disease, or any person who has a terminal stage in his diseases or cancer. People who are suffering cancer, sometimes they utilize or they use the euthanasia or the mercy killing because of other circumstances. That's just like they cannot what we call this, they cannot, di nila maagwanta kay especially to the other persons who was lacking of financial support in their medical treatment. And also, lastly, the genocide. So what is genocide? Genocide is the systematic extermination of an entire national, racial, religious, or ethnic group. So another example of genocide is in World War II, the killing of the Japanese army in the Manchuria. They genocide mostly all of the population of Chinese people living in Manchuria or Nanjing. And another example is the Ugandan president or dictator. I forgot his name, but in the late 1980s, he genocide his people. And lastly, the perfect example of this is the killing of Jews by Hitler. So that's all. Just remember that murder or anything that killing with treachery, taking advantage of superior strength, it can punish it will be punishable by reclusion perpetua. But in homicide, it will be punishable by reclusion temporal. So there are still many aggravated circumstances that can alter or can reverse the the what we call this, the accusation of the accusation of the people who accuse other person about murdering or what we call this, killings. It depends on the court if it considered as homicide or murder. So that's all. That is all of my that is all about my sharing of knowledge today, the certain type of killing and death. So thank you everyone.